agents, look, if I can do this and be successful, you can. There was absolutely nothing special about me when I started in real estate, other than the fact that I showed up and I did the work. And, I had agents telling me, Paul, you got to go out and do this. Paul, you got to go buy this, right? I invested a lot of money into my business when I started. Now, the advantage I might have had was that I've always been an entrepreneur. So I came in knowing, all right, this is what it takes to run a business, right? So I'm not coming from a 9-to-5 job, but at the same time, I mean, this is all skill set that people can learn, and they have to come in with the right mindset that, okay, I'm going to do whatever it's take. I got a mentor that's helping me with the ropes. I also have other agents in my office that are telling me, this is what I'm doing. This is what's working. This is what's not working. This is how I became successful. So I took all of that and I just implemented it into my business. I'm like, yeah, that's where I want to be, right? And so I did shoot to the top very quickly, but it came with working 6-7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, hitting the hot sheets every morning, and really, doing everything and just eating, sleeping, and drinking the stuff day in and day out. It was all about real estate. So anybody can do this business. I am totally convinced. They might need a little hand holding. They definitely need mentorship. That's what a lot of
say that one more time, Paul. Come on, repeat.
They definitely need mentorship. I have had agents. Look, when I was recruiting agents for my brokerage, I had a school of real estate. So my low-hanging fruit for recruiting and meeting my recruiting goals was brand new agents. And I was like, look, you got to connect with people. I used to pair people up, and I was like, no, I'm not a matchmaker. I said, here, talk to these 3 agents and see if anybody would want to mentor you. No, I don't want a mentor. I don't want to have to pay for a mentor. I'm like, oh, that is such a big mistake. I'm like, look,
because the cost of not having a mentor is much more expensive.
Absolutely. I was happy to give up parts of my commission for my transactions to have my mentorship. And I have paid for mentorship in many different aspects of my life throughout the years. I kind of wish I had it when I had electrical contracting business back in the day before I ever became a real estate agent. I didn't have that mentorship. And that I look back and I'm like, man, if I had that mentorship, I could have, I kept hitting that brick wall and staying at that same line, right? I wasn't growing. I just kept I couldn't get to that next level. And if I had a mentor in my life, it would have made all the difference in the world. Now, I had great success, but I just kept trying to get to that next level. And I see that all the time in real estate, the struggle to even just get off the ground. Or if they get off the ground, it's like, how do I get to that next level? And they don't have the support with a mentorship or anything else to get them to that next level. So
absolutely, totally agree.
So that's a good segue. So how do you ensure that your team stays aligned with your vision of customer service excellence?
So the first thing that is important is for me to know what my vision is, right? And so this whole idea of if I don't know it, if I don't live it, if I'm not exuding this vision, then I can't expect others to embody or to uphold the standard. So for me, one of my mentors very long ago mentioned, Neal, let's build these pillars of success. What are these core values that you're going to live by? And so fortunately for me, mine are the same personally and professionally. So we just came up with some help from my dirty dozen, my inner circle. What I call my foundation. I have a few individuals that are very close and pivotal in my success. Professionally and personally, we came up with these 4 pillars of success, and it's excellence, service, leadership, and growth. And so everything we do, we operate in excellence, or we don't do it. We go back to the drawing board. Service over sales. The most important thing for me is to make sure that I am a servant leader. If I serve enough of the right people, I know that some great things are going to come back. Leadership. You and I know that all things rise and fall on leadership. Without effective leadership, is going to fail. And then growth. I just believe that we're either growing or we're dying. So there is no middle ground, no gray area there. So for me, I'm making sure that I always operate in those 4 pillars of success: excellence, service, leadership, and growth. But then that requires me to ensure that every sales meeting we have, we are going to be talking about the 4 pillars of success, right? It's just like we as adults, we as real estate professionals or entrepreneurs, we're not that much different than kids. We're just a little bit bigger. So we need to be reminded frequently. We need to remember daily of the goals, of the reason we do these things. So we're going to open our sales calls, our team meetings the same way. Hey, let's remember these 4 pillars of success. Now, we have 13 total characteristics that I really live by and do business by, but those 4 are those foundational principles. And then if we take more than a 20-minute break, when we resume our meeting, guess what we're hitting? Those 4 pillars of success. Remember that as we talk about role playing, as we're talking about lead conversion, lead generation, ascension, and retention, do they meet? Do our tactics meet those 4 pillars of success? And I believe that if we hold the flame up, if we allow people to see this thing on a consistent, continual basis, they are either going to rise, or if they start to fall, they're going to either work to get better, or they're just going to exit on their own accord, right? And so I just believe that in environments where we know that companies have mantras, visions, mission statements, those where it is continually and continuously held up and referred back to, I just believe that it's going to take hold in the hearts and minds of the people. So that's something that for my team, I'm always making sure that it's at the forefront of our minds. If we ask, what are the 4 pillars of success? If there's any hesitancy there, that means that I need to do a better job effectively communicating that piece. And then asking questions such as, where do we see a lack of the 4 pillars of success this week, this month, this quarter? Where do we see some shining examples of our pillars of success? And as they share those, we make sure that I, as the leader, that I listen, and then I go about implementing either the correct change, or I give accolades to those who actually embodied those pillars.
Yeah, and that's a lot. And you're hit the nail on the head though with all of those pillars. I mean, those are all so important. And even myself, I struggle with things like that. I know, I have a lot of good visions, and what I find for myself is by a lack of consistency, my vision always changes. And so I find myself going down a road, right? And I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe really that wasn't the vision I had for myself, and maybe this one is better. Or sometimes it just happens, right? My vision is here, and then all of a sudden there's a bump in the road, which brings me over here, and I'm like, wow, I didn't envision that, but that is so much better.